All right, it's been a little bit. I've been super busy with school and wrestling, but I think I want to get back to it because I do enjoy this, and it's been like almost 2 weeks now. I did record a couple of videos, and I think I just scrapped both of them. Unfortunately, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I got a lot of stuff on this board, but a lot of stuff has happened. There's a lot of ideas kind of circulating now. Um, I think what I want to talk about is the little things in life and um, how unique they are. And you know, I don't want to sit here and preach to the choir, but I think most people probably don't, right? Most people probably don't sit there and enjoy the little things, or at least, it's the little things that kind of make you happy, but maybe you don't see it at certain points of time. You don't actually realize, oh, that's what made me happy. And I can't even remember the last thing I said in my last video, so maybe I'll be talking or repeating myself in a sense, but there's one specific incident that happened recently to me that like almost gave me a sense of like, hey, you're on the right track, you're doing the right things, you're like pushing yourself, you're putting your name out there in a positive light. And it was very unique, not unique, but it was just very like refreshing, and it gave me like a sense of like, okay, I feel like every once in a while you kind of get like a glimpse into like, are you doing things appropriately or are you not? And you get like a wake up call. Could be good, could be bad. And I think thankfully this one was good. And I don't know if I necessarily needed it, but it was nice that it happened, and it kind of just reinforces some of your views on things and like what you're doing, what you're trying to attain. Because I think sometimes when you're doing something for a while and you're like, you really get bogged down. It's like, am I really like, is this really for me? Am I really doing things appropriately? I feel like, a lot of times I struggle with the feeling of feeling like a fraud. Um, in the aspect of like the academic world. I'm not even really in the academic world. I say all these things, but within school, within academics in my classes, like I do feel like a fraud. I feel like I'm not where a lot of people actually are, and I feel like I have a sense of I have that imposter syndrome kind of going on. And this is the scenario of when you get like something told to you, you're like, oh, maybe I am actually doing the right things. I'm over complicating or I'm overthinking, but don't ever get complacent. There's always that tandem, that fine line of, I don't enjoy compliments. It's nice that they happen, but also I'm like never going to accept them, like truly to what they mean, because it's hard to, right? Because what does that mean? Like, oh, you know, I don't know. I'm ranting at this point. Let me get to the point of like what happened. There is a professor that I've heard about at my school, talked about in high regards, especially from the professor that I believe to be more of a mentor figure than me, and who I think very highly of, and that I appreciate. And I take all the classes that I can with him. But there is a professor that I've heard, even not just from the one professor, but a lot of faculty members I've heard talk about this fella, and that he was very much a wonderful professor. Come to find out, what I don't think I realized is when I first got to this college, not knowing anyone, not even understanding what I was going to do with my life to a degree, um, I think he was my advisor and was putting him in classes. And I just thought he was some old guy. He was just some old guy, and he was like, "Well, you can get put in this one, this one, this one." I was like, "All right, cool." I struggle with this chin hair. This always feels like it's up higher. Every time I try to go shave it down, it just stays at that height. Anyways, um, and I didn't think of, I didn't, obviously I don't know anything about the school yet. Blah blah blah. These faculty members, nothing. But looking back on it now, I think he was the person that advised me and got me into classes. And the other day we had an event, a few days ago, I think, and it's called a convocation. We had our president speak and all that jazz, just a little ceremony type thing. And I'm sitting in like a lunch area, just sitting there, like reading a book for my next class. And I see this old guy in like some robes, like kind of coming in my direction. I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe he's just, I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, I look down, I look back up, and he's like closer. And I'm like, okay, like I should take my AirPods out and like see what's up. And he like, he says, hey, are you Colton? And I go, yeah. Um, he was like, hey, I'm so and so. And I've just heard that you've had a lot of success and you're doing really well with your studies. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like I appreciate it, but we had a little bit of a discourse. He was like, you still on the wrestling team? And I was like, yeah, to a degree, I'm on the wrestling team. And we had a nice little back and forth, and it was just like amazing because, uh, you know, he like made the effort, one, and recognized me to come. Like, it's one thing to be told like, oh yeah, this student is doing well, but he still knew what I looked like to a degree. I mean, we had passing glance basically. I mean, we sat down, picked my classes, that was it. And after a good year and a half, he sees me and is able to walk up to me and say, "Hey, like I've heard about, you're doing well, and I just, wanted to come say something." And I was like, "That's awesome. That made me feel really good." Not only that, later in the evening, I get an email from him, and like further discussing, he's like, "Hey, I'm just, I keep up with the history and political science, and um, I'm just glad to hear about your success and that you're doing really well." And I was just like, where is this like coming from? Like I can point to a few professors that may have said something, but it's just it's that glimpse of to like, at least in some people's eyes, I'm like pursuing, I'm passionate, I'm doing well, or at least I respect them to that degree, and they're showing me respect and saying like this student is applying himself, and he's going the extra mile, and it's like those moments, and I was just like so thankful. It's not like trying to brag at all, but it just felt really good to be like somewhat recognized from someone who I've heard from people I hold in high regard talk about very very highly. It's a nice thing to get that little boost and like reassurance sometimes that like you're doing things right. You're not really a fraud. I still think I am, and I'll probably always have that feeling, but just a touch like the little things. This is more about one specific incident, but like there's a lot of times that I've just been like pushing to reach out to people and like pick their brain about philosophical ideas. And I've been doing that more recently, and with um, multiple people that I've found a new connection with in regards to just having deeper conversations. I, it's it's something that I don't know how to explain it, but that fulfilling feeling of expressing deep opinions and working them out in a conversation, in a dialogue with someone else who's, we might be opposing on certain things, but ultimately we're kind of doing this thing in tandem together, trying to discuss certain topics to a degree of understanding them. Ultimately, we always fail, and we don't. It's not that we don't make any progress, but we make the progress harder because more and more questions come out of what we, derive from them. Um, and I had a talk with my professor today, about like possibly what I'm going to do my honors thesis on, and it was, human rights related and religion related, and it just opens a can of worms, and it's so fascinating and fun of like the avenues you can go down, especially within philosophy. I just I don't know. Sometimes it is the little things in life that like give you that that push or that joy, or you know I don't know. It's just fun when you can learn to appreciate certain things like oh, gas wasn't as expensive today. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a Red Bull. Like, oh, it tastes really good. Oh, the food's really good today. Oh, the weather's nice. Oh, I feel really confident in my clothes today. I don't know. It's really like if you can just take a step back, sometimes you can really appreciate the joys and the idiosyncrasies of it all. What a Dumb word I just tried to use right there. I don't know. It's the little things. I don't know.